Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Anton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today, what are we doing? We're going to be continuing on with the spoilers for the upcoming LOR set, Awakening. We didn't get Jax today. I was thinking we would probably see Jax today, but it seems we just saw more Jax support, more Weapon Master type cards. So it's most likely that Jax is gonna be a Runeterran champ, and his origin is pretty much gonna say like you can put any weapon master in your deck, and hopefully he'll get some kind of passive. You know, maybe not as powerful as Bard, but maybe like like Kane's, where Kane draws himself. What's his name? Jin has the ping. Hopefully not like Evelyn, who just doesn't really do anything with her origin. But yeah, so we got not that many cards today. Not much to talk about really, so probably going to be a shorter video today. Some of these cards are really scary though, I will say that. And we got more improvised cards, so that's cute. And multi-region spells are now a thing. So let's go and talk about the cards. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards and a new created card, token, whatever you want to call it. Really quick before we actually start talking about the cards, in case you don't know what Improvise is. Improvise is the new mechanic. Seems like it's going to be very Jax oriented, equipment oriented. When you improvise, when you play a card with Improvise, choose one of 2 random options from a depleting pool of equipment and equip it to this ally. If it wasn't summoned or if it wasn't played from hand, it equips a random equipment instead. So it's a pretty solid new mechanic. We got a couple new ones too: Bilgewater, PNZ, Targon, Bandle, improvised units, and these are of course the equipment you are generating from Improvise. I also am not sure, but I believe if you actually improvise every single improvised equipment, I'm gonna assume the pool resets, kind of like Reforged does with Riven. I hope it does. Not like it will come up too often, but I feel like it will come up. So, one of these cards I'm really scared of. And it's the first card, actually. Hearts Made Whole. First off, really, really like multi-region spells. I hope we get to see more multi-region stuff. I'm really happy they didn't just keep multi-region in Bandle plus other region. I'm glad they're spreading it to other stuff, other combinations than just Bandle plus X. So yeah, 4 mana burst speed spell, Bilgewater PNZ. To play it, discard a card, draw 2, and if you discard an equipment, summon an Icathian Mirage. Icathian Mirage is just a 2 mana 3/2. Nothing crazy, just a 2 mana 3/2. It's got the Weapon Master tag, so if there is some Weapon Master synergy, then that's cool. Really nice artwork, by the way. Haven't actually seen the full art of this. But yeah, I'm just having to say this. Why is this 4 mana? I honestly feel like this should be 5 mana. I'm not saying I think the card is really busted. I'm just looking at this card and it's scary. I look at this card and it reminds me of Eye of Nagakaboros. Sure, Eye of Nagakaboros doesn't need you to discard, and you always get a spawn 2, so usually a 2/2 tentacle. But this is both cheaper, and it does help your discard synergy, which, PNZ has. So, you can discard things like Chompers, go to Noxus and discard things like, I don't know, Lost Souls, etc., etc. And I really feel like I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, it's not that scary. I doubt you're going to get the 3/2 that often. Here's the thing I'm thinking about is, first off, it's going to come down to Jax, I feel like, how good Jax is. But if you play a lot of improvised stuff, you're going to have a lot of improvised equipment. Eventually, you're just going to have so much equipment, you just can't equip all of your units at once. So it's just clogging up your hands. So you might as well discard it, right? So you can actually look at all this improvised equipment as just discard fodder in general to things like Get Excited, Zonite Urchin, Rummage, etc., etc. And Parts Made Whole actually wants you to discard it too. So yeah, it definitely seems just like a... This is just meant to get rid of probably the worst of the improvised equipment. So it's really, really scary. It gives you a... First off, you get a burst speed unit. That's always scary. Burst speed attackers, burst speed blockers. It's a fearsome blocker at that too, so that's even more scary. Eye of Nagakaburos would just give you a 2/2 usually, which at least it doesn't block fearsome, so I don't know. This is really scary. It trades with a lot of things. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating it. I don't think I'm overrating it. I think it's really good obviously in improvised decks, which will most likely be Jax decks. And I even think it can go outside of improvised decks because 4 mana draw 2 is a pretty solid effect. Between what, like Whispered Words, Eye of Nagakaburos. Oh no, not Eye of Nagakaburos. It's not 4. It's what am I thinking of? Hidden Pathways. I think that's the Bandle draw spell. So yeah, 4-man draw 2 is nice. Sure, you might say, but you have to discard 1. Discarding a lot of the time is not that big of a downside. And you can get some upside too, even if the card you're discarding doesn't care about discard, because equipment. Next up, Blades of the Fallen. 1 mana, Shadow Isles Shurima Weapon Master spell. First spell at that. Give an ally last breath, summon an Nicathian Mirage with my equipment this round. So you use this to... So you block with a unit, you play Blades of the Fallen on it, and you get another unit. I don't know, I think this is really strong. Like, I kind of feel like this could have been a fast spell. Like, at burst speed, I don't know, like... I doubt your opponent's going to use, like, a stun to prevent you from getting the 3/2. And you might say, like, well, what if your unit doesn't have equipment? First off, I wouldn't mind playing a 1 mana, basically, a 1 mana spell that says, give my unit last breath when I die, I summon a 3/2. That's not terrible. Don't know if you can actually... With the way it's worded, I have no idea if this can be used on a unit that has no equipment. It also does work on champion, so that's nice. Pretty solid spell to get from Conchologist too. I like the card. I think it's very strong. Does kind of get around the problem that I see a couple of equipment have, and that is just, you know, having to replay it, and it starts to tax your mana a bit. So I like this. And we're probably going to get more equipment too, so that will be really nice. So I think it's a solid spell. I don't think it's like a top tier spell, but I think it's fine. It's also a Weapon Master card too for Jax's Origin, most likely. It seems like a solid 1 or 2 of in Jax deck, so I think it's a fine card. Next up, well, we already saw a Nicathian Mirage. It's just a token that's being created by these spells. Piltover Castaway. 3 mana, 2/1 attune. When I'm summoning, I improvise. Okay, not much to talk about here. Very simple, easy to read card. I mean, it's a solid 3-drop, I guess, for improvised decks. The attune is nice. Kind of a small stat line, but it is improvising. Kind of hard to just judge these units by their stats alone because of improvise, so I feel like a lot of the time this will be like a 3 mana 4/1, maybe a 3/2 or something. 3/3, I guess. So yeah, it's a solid stat line, and the attune is nice. Like this is like what I talk about when I'm say card's nice, but if it had a little bit more going for it, I'd like it, and that little bit more is the attune here. If this card was just the same thing but without the attune, I wouldn't be that impressed. But the attune makes me a little more interested in this card. The problem I do see though is 3-drop slot starts to look a little cluttered with Wandering Shepherd. And Wandering Shepherd I really like. 3 mana 2/2. Pick an ally. When you play it, pick an ally. It improvises. If you don't, I improvise. So I feel like on curve, it's a solid amount of stats. Targon Bandle City card and a Weapon Master card at that too, of course. So Jax card most likely. activates Faded, so, you know, more Targon synergy, I guess, but I don't know. It's like, it's weird. It's like neither the Castaway or the Shepherd really seem much better than either one. Like, Castaway's nice because of the attune. Shepherd's nice because, you know, it helps the second unit, and you can, I guess, improvise itself if you don't have a board. This way, like, Shepherd's nice because you don't have to, compared to the other improvised units, you don't have to let it die to get the equipment back. This way you can say, like, you have a Lee Sin or something, and you're like, okay, let me play Wandering Shepherd to improvise Lee Sin. Now he has Overwhelm. Now he has Scout, whatever. So yeah, I like the card. I think it's solid. I think they're both pretty fine. Thinking about PNZ now as well, I don't think PNZ really has that great of a 3-drop. I feel like a lot of the time in my more value-oriented PNZ decks, I kind of just skip 3 and just play a 2-drop on 3, which it's not terrible. You're PNZ, you have a lot of spells. So maybe I'll play Piltover Castaway in my more value-oriented PNZ decks as just for the improvise for a little extra value. I don't know. I like these cards. They're fine. And the last card for today, Catch. 1 mana, give an ally +1/+1 this round. Or equipped it with an equipment in hand that costs 2 or less. So basically, the improvised stuff. There are, I assume, other things. I know there's at least one. Like, okay, there's Origami Slicer, but, you know, Darken Lodestone. I assume if you flowed last turn, you can also pull out Soul Sword for this, and I think that might be it. I guess Darken Scythe, but that's gonna be weird if you're a Kane Jax deck, because I'm pretty sure, you know, Jax is gonna be Runeterra, and you can technically be 2 Runeterra champion, like double Runeterra champion deck. Just a little awkward. But yeah, there are stuff like Great Hammers. Ooh, that's actually kind of cute. Like Great Hammers for burst speed overwhelm. So yeah, there's like, besides the improvised equipment, there's some cute stuff you can do with Catch. I like the card. What is it? It is a Demacia Freljord card, so that's cool. Power creeping Radiant Strike. Ooh. Radiant Strike just sucks. If you don't know what Radiant Strike is, I don't blame you. It's a really mediocre card. It's the 1 mana burst speed spell in Demacia that's just give a unit +1/+1 for this round. So literally just this card, but without the equipment line of text. Used to see play a long time ago in Lucian aggressive decks, but that was like back before we even had like Targon or something. I think it was like Bilgewater meta or something. Basically before like Ranger's Resolve or something, like maybe even earlier than that. But yeah, like, so I like it. It reminds me of Shapestoned a lot. Cute, cheap protection spell, and you can technically get more stats too, because some of these things just give more than +1/+1, like Pot of Pain, Sandsworn Amulet, Combat Reel. They all give more than +1/+1. So that's kind of nice. Honestly, probably a 2 of in improvised decks, because it's just, it gets you the equipment equipped at burst speed, which is nice. So I like it. Big fan of Catch. So yeah, I like these cards. Seems like Jax, honestly, Jax looks really push. Very powerful card draw spell, solid unit based curve, okay protection spell. Not great, but just a decent protection spell that doubles up as, I don't know, burst speed equipped. So yeah, I like Jax, just not really sure who he's gonna partner up with. So yeah, if Jax, who is like pretty much all but guaranteed with all of these cards and all this flavor text mentioning Jax, if we somehow don't get Jax this set, that'd be crazy. But with Jax basically being the next champion, that means we have 1 champ left. We have what? Kane, Master Yi, Nora, Jax, and a 5th champion, because they did say we're going to get 5 champions this expansion. Lots of theories floating around as to who our 5th champion is going to be. Aatrox, Ornn. I've even seen Seraphine as an option being floated around. I feel like it's probably going to be Ornn or Aatrox, as I actually like Seraphine. I'm sorry. But I doubt it's going to be Seraphine. I think the idea is that, you know, flow is a mechanic, and Seraphine, I think, in League does flow stuff, but I feel like it's either Ornn or Aatrox as the 5th champion. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your opinion on these cards. What do you think of Improvise as a whole? Maybe you think I'm overreacting to Parts Made Whole. I do think it's strong. I don't think it's OP, but I think it could be 5 mana, but seems like they're trying to push Jax a little bit, so that's nice. And I'd love to hear your ideas of how to build these cards, and perhaps kind of decks you would put these cards in. Maybe Tri-Beam, like that Piltover Castaway could honestly go in Tri-Beam. It is a 3-mana card. And if you guys just enjoyed the video in general, I'd love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below. Always helps me and the channel out. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Senaton, where I stream pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video. And until I see you guys in the next video, bye.